Nice. Nice to see you.
He's a member of our team. Sere.
Okay.
And I can see my another colleague of mine. He teaches physical education. Is about Baldovin Nicușor. Hello, Baldovin, Mr. Baldovin.
Hello.
Can you press for button for sound, please? Sunetul, the sound.
Bis drin ist er.
Well, hello.
Hello, Ernesta.
Hi there.
I can see you.
Oh, that's nice. Because I was thinking if we are going to have some problems or not. Okay, that's good. Nice to see you.
No problem. Nice to see you too.
Yeah, okay. So 3 hours of, well, big issues.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope we are all in. Well, and there is enough space for everyone, because some of my teachers during English lessons also said we would like to join, so we'll see.
I guess it's enough space for everybody. I made the question, and if we have 12 countries, I guess, 12 schools.
No, 9 schools, I guess we have, because just let me see. I have my.
If each school will have 10 participants, it's 90. So I think it's enough. 100.
Yes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 presentations, but some of them are made by 2 students. So, as I understand, right?
Yes. Yeah. We'll see.
You saw the program, so
yeah.
Maybe I will try to share the screen, and
Yes.
let's see if we see something here. Okay, this one. Can you see it now? Not yet.
Yes.
Okay, and if I do like this,
So we are right now with two different projects. One is
Yeah, so we
creation
have-
and integration, and ours ECOwe. Yeah.
yes, right. So we have two projects, and these are, as you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 countries, because Lithuania, Portugal, and Turkey is also in another project, but different schools. So two
Yes.
schools from Lithuania, 2 from Portugal, 2 from Turkey. So at all we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 schools. 9. Yes, 9 schools, I guess. Okay. Can you see my screen, the whole one, or just some slides?
No. The first slide and the second one, I think, is the program, isn't it?
Yes, this one.
But I can't see it right now. We can, yeah.
So the view is a little bit late. Okay, so it's okay. We have 14 participants. Okay. How to
Yes,
see
right now.
how to see the others? How to see the others? Okay, if I do like this. Oh, yeah, I see those. Good. Gintare, I see my student. That's good. And now if okay, good.
From my school, unfortunately, one student couldn't join because her mother is ill. So
Okay.
I have just one, but it's okay for us.
Okay. Okay. So we see Iacob and Chelu, or how to pronounce
Iacob is Iacob Nicoleta.
Iacob Nicoleta. So
my student.
So which one of them won't participate?
The other one is absent. Chelu Florentina is absent.
Okay. So Iacob will present.
But she did a great job. Yes.
Okay, good. That's good.
Will present.
Okay, I wonder if we have a guest that I'm waiting, and we are all waiting, an expert, Auste. No, she's not here.
Oh, I'm here.
Are you here? Oh, nice to see you, Auste.
Hello.
Somehow I cannot see during the participants, so that's very nice, because you are also a very important person today. Yeah, okay, thanks for coming. Okay, we still have 6.
But you can see the participants in your right screen if you'll press. Okay.
Yes, I press it, but somehow Auste is somewhere else.
It appears for me is the third in my list, but I don't know in yours. So.
Okay, that's good that she's here, and that's enough for me. Oh, now I see. Yeah, right. Okay. Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Nice to
Lina.
see you, Lina.
Hi.
Yeah, Lina, I hope our students will come.
Of course.
Good.
Nesta, one of our students, is FM Studios, is one of us from Germany. So he's the second in the presentation with a couple. So this is Jonas Kumorek, and this is the last one in the third sections, plastic sections. Yes.
Okay. So only Lucas will participate.
No,
right?
they're both. But Jonas is has a name is called FM Studios in the list, in our meeting list now.
Okay.
All three
now
are there, so we have everyone in place.
Good, because I can see Lucas. He's FM Studios, right?
Lucas LX is there, and
okay, yeah, I understand that.
Good.
Okay, so yes, right. So, dear teachers, just let's check if we have our students on the list. But anyway, if some will be late and the time comes to present, so we will change some places. I think that we shouldn't make too much stress here. Okay. Different names. Okay, let me practice. I know how to pronounce my student Gintare. Yay. Now, Turkish students, do we have ECOwe? Not yet. And Ozan? Ozan also not yet.
I cannot see Portugal. Carlos?
Carlos wrote me a letter and sent me the emails of his students, but I emailed him back that I actually do not need the emails because they just join pressing the link and that's it. So I believe he will be here.
Hey, Chigdam is here.
Okay, let's wait for some minutes. We still have 2 officially, but if the third one is needed, so okay.
Okay, now. Hello, everybody.
Hi there.
Hi there. How are you?
Oh, nice and a bit
excited.
nervous. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, we've got Fatma here.
Yeah.
Okay, 25 of us. Celine. Oh, hello, Celine. Are you here?
Hello, and
Oh,
everyone.
nice to see you. Nice to see you. Okay. What does that mean? It's time to.
It's time to start. It's time to start. Let's go.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's great. Okay, interesting.
Yes. I prepared it all for you.
Okay. Just not to be late.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well.
Well. Okay.
Now, probably when somebody is talking, others need to to switch off the microphones because I can hear some phonics here. Okay. Eva is here. Our student is here. Nice. Okay. Still joining. Hello, Ali.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Okay. Okay, then let's check the list. Could you please switch up your microphones when someone is talking, okay? Because the sound is not good actually. And let's agree when someone is talking, others please switch off the microphones. That will be better. Dear teachers, please check the list if all your students are here, and we may start then. I can't see Jose. Okay, since we have 4 minutes past 12, I guess we may start. And I hope you see my screen with a title of our presentation and so on. First of all, I would like to start off saying hello to all of you and well, welcome to this TETYPE Students Conference, ECOwe. And this conference is organized between 2 projects. You can see the logos of them, very nice logos that are creation and integration of STEAM model in general education and ecology through collecting, recycling, and selecting. And my name is Ernesta, and I'm the coordinating teacher in Lithuania. And our school this week is celebrating Ecological Week and having a lot of activities. And one of those is this conference, which I guess will be very interesting and very useful for all of us. And well, I believe that we are all very happy to be here together and to have 3 marvelous and important hours that will be dedicated for the ecology topic. And the main goal of this conference and our meeting is to share our ideas, to take a look at the issues of nowadays situation, and also discuss what can be done to have our Earth a better place to live for us and the next generations, of course. So as you can see, we are 6 countries here and 9 schools at this online conference. And thank you, dear students, for taking part in it, and teachers, of course, for guiding your students. and let this event be very, well, interesting for all of us. We will meet, we will hear each other. And I'm very happy to have a special guest today here. She is Auste Černiauskaitė, a co-founder of Cool Ūkis. If to translate, that would be cool farm, probably. But I believe Auste will tell about herself a little bit more just after some minutes. And she will be a kind of an expert in this presentation and will make some comments on your presentations. Maybe she will ask some questions or just add some more information to your topics. And other participants are also very welcome to give questions to the speakers, to have a small discussion. But it is very important to agree about some things that I believe are already agreed. But as you can see, not you can't, but now you do. As you can see in this conference, we have 4 parts, 4 sections. We will have a short break, and there are no very precise time, how long your presentations should last, but the agreement was to have 5 minutes for your presentations, and then 2-3 minutes for questions and comments. So please follow the time, otherwise we will stay here up to the late evening. Maybe it's not so bad, but still, a plan is plan. So probably we could start now a conference, but first of all, I would like to ask and to invite Auste to say some words, to present herself and to show herself, because she will be a very important person during the whole conference. So Auste, now it's your turn.
Great, thank you so much, and thank you for the invitation to attend your conference. I'm really excited to see all of your ideas and get to know more about them. So as Ernesta said, I'm Auste, and actually my journey in environmental subjects has started long ago. I studied environmental science at university. It was always a very important subject for me, and that took me down various different projects. I worked with biocontrol in New Zealand. Then I came back to Lithuania and I started my own initiatives. And it's always about, I think, about environmental initiatives. There are so many opportunities, so many needs that need to be filled. And I'm very excited to see so many different topics in your presentations today. It also happened to me when I came back to Lithuania after studying abroad, to see this need and opportunity for more gardening initiatives, actually. So I started together with a friend of mine. We started a social gardening initiative, Cool Ūkis. We basically, coming back to Lithuania, found that a lot of things we actually take for granted that we have here. Like, people still know how to grow their own food, know how what kind of properties different plants have, different herbs for medicine, for nutrition, and so on. And actually, abroad, a lot of places don't have this knowledge anymore. It's not very common to know how to grow your own vegetables or know what these plants can do. So we decided that it's very important to actually protect this knowledge, because we see that more people are moving to cities, less people are spending time in the countryside, and people are slowly starting to also forget this information. At the same time, we saw that there was an opportunity, because a lot of land was being unused. And people who live in the cities and apartments, they don't have their own land. So we wanted to connect these people. And that's how our initiative was formed. So basically, Colocus connects people who want to garden, who want to grow some vegetables, some flowers, who want to learn more about the environment, about living more sustainably, ecological, organic growing, and things like this, with people who want to share their land with them. So people basically invite you to garden with them, or they have a summer house that they're not using, or some land, and then people garden together. So it's a very nice social project. And we also run different workshops on sustainability, on things like composting, creating your own organic cosmetics, and different topics like this. So we try to sort of branch out not only in this growing gardening, but we saw that it definitely connects a lot of people, and it's a tool to spread this message of sustainability and working together, sharing knowledge, also connecting people who are maybe from the older generation with people from younger generation. And I've been doing this for the last 6 years now. So actually this year is our 6th season. We launched not so long ago. And yeah, we have just people gardening together. It's always trying to find new ways to collaborate and involve more people, like community gardens as well, which are slowly becoming more popular in Lithuania as well. So yeah, I don't know what else to really say about myself. Just I'm really looking forward to your presentations and really interested to see what you found about each topic, and to learn more. So best of luck. And I think maybe we can start with them.
Yes, thank you, Auste, very much. I really believe we will continue our collaboration that just started today. And well, let's start then our conference. And the first section is about circular economy. And I saw Gintare is here, and she is ready to present her ideas. And she will talk about circular economy from history to personal responsibility. So Gintare, please share your slides now, your presentation, and we are all yours, listening very carefully.
Yes, one minute.
Okay.
Can you see the slides?
Yes, we were. Yeah, we can. Oh, okay, nice. Yes,
Good.
thank you.
Okay, so hello everyone. I am Gintare from Vagatu Engineering Lyceum, and today I'm going to talk about circular economy, its history, and how can we contribute. So here are my main topics. So at first, a little bit about what is a circular economy. The main topic, of course, is its history, and then how can we contribute. So let's begin. A circular economy aims to eliminate waste and continual use of resources, focusing on positive society-wide benefits underpinned by a transition to renewable energy sources. The circular model builds economic, natural, and social capitals. It is based on 3 principles. 1, design out waste and pollution. 2, keep products and materials in use. And 3, regenerate natural systems. And here you can see the picture of a circular economy model and how it loops. So in conclusion, the circular economy is a model of production and consumption, which involves sharing, reusing, recycling, and repairing existing materials and products, and of course, keeping them in loop as long as possible. So now going to the main topic of the history of circular economy. The circular economy cannot be traced back to one specific date or author. Archaeological findings from the island of Delma in the Gulf Basin demonstrated that people use agricultural byproducts from date palm cultivation for the construction of houses around 6000 BC. So we can firmly claim that the recycling of biological waste has been going on for around 8,000 years, if not longer. Even though it has been going on for quite a long period of time, but the written ideas of it only can go back to approximately the years after the Second World War. And that is when people started writing papers and articles about it, even though it still was not titled as a circular economy. Back then, one of the more known papers was Spaceship Earth by Kenneth Boulding, which was published in 1966. The economy of the future might be called spaceman economy, in which the Earth has become a single spaceship without unlimited reservoirs of anything, said Boulding. Some of you may know that in the 90s, there was also a project called Spaceship Earth, where there was created a closed system that was supposed to be able to foster life. But sadly, this project didn't succeed due to oxygen filtration issues. Even though there were textbooks and articles headed the circular economy, for some reason, that concept and the words failed to break through into the public consciousness until China engaged with circular economy. The engagement started in 1988, and the approach was formally accepted by the central government in 2002. The Chinese passed a circular economy law where they were just going to start moving systematically in that direction. Now, a quick fun fact is that it is said that China was the first country to use the term circular economy in the context of waste and resource policy. And coming back, only in 2010, the Western world started to wake up because of a woman called Ellen MacArthur. She spent more time in the sea of plastic than she wanted to remember. And after she came back, she devoted herself to set up the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, which was also in 2010. And mostly since then, this idea has implanted itself very firmly. Because the idea was implanted after a very long time, people had to act quickly. Actions were taken in 2015. That year was a hot autumn for the climate change. At that time, the carbon dioxide emission rates were going through the roof. As you can see in this pie chart, some of the percentages and countries of the carbon dioxide emissions. During the United Nations Climate Change Conference of 2015, on the 2nd of December, the Vice President of the European Commission, Frans Timmermans, launched the new package for the circular economy. And on the 11th of December, the conference concluded in Paris, where 195 countries met to reach an agreement, leading to a reduction in emissions and a slowing down of global warming. So, how can I contribute? I have a few examples here, like we should use products for a longer time, and even adding another year gives substantial sustainability benefits. Also, we should choose products that are designed for repairing, upgrading, and upcycling. Of course, we should recycle as much as possible. And we should also view the contents of products as valuable resources in the circular economy, never to be discarded. And here are some exact examples of what we could do in our everyday life. First off, composting. It not only helps to recycle waste, but also makes a humus-rich soil that we can use for plants. Then reselling and buying, excuse me, secondhand clothes. It can help save resources because every time we buy a new type of clothes, more materials are being used. Then, of course, for girls on their menstruational cycles, they use a lot of single-use products and that create a lot of waste. So a good way to solve that would be menstruational cups. And my last example would be sustainable phones. Now there are a lot of sustainable phones that are made, and of course some are cheaper, some are a bit pricier, but these phones reduce carbon footprints and is better than usual phones. And that's it for my examples and for my presentation. And I would like to say thank you for listening, and I hope that together we can create a better world.
Thank you, Gintare. And now probably Auste will has to say something.
Thank you so much.
Yes, actually, I have a question. Thank you for your presentation, but I have a question for you, Gintare, if you allow me.
Yes, of course.
You are a child, and I would like to tell me what do you choose between an old telephone and a new one? Because you said in your presentation, you said to us to update our devices. So what do you prefer, an old one or a new one? Please be sincere.
Well, of course, a new one, but now while creating this presentation, I looked into the sustainable phones, and I thought it would be a great idea to mention them, and maybe in the future I would also buy this. I've read that their quality is being also made like they're being made with better quality, so maybe in the near future I would like to buy this phone.
Thank you for your answer. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Gintare. It was a very interesting presentation. Really interesting to find out more about the history of circular economy as well. And I have a few questions. Well, also one thing I really appreciate that you mentioned composting, and I actually do a workshop on how to compost living indoors. So it's also a possibility for people to know if you don't have an outside space. And COP 2015 was also really a landmark time. So thank you so much for mentioning that. I was actually there participating in some demonstrations. So it was very powerful moment really for the whole movement of climate change and so on. I have a question. Have you identified any social circular economy businesses locally in Lithuania, maybe to also, support small businesses here?
For example, I can't really think of one right now, but I can tell one that we had a conference yesterday with the Giedrius Bučas from 360 laipsnių kampu. And I think his story was really interesting of how he wanted to go all over Lithuania, and on his way he picked up trash and recycled it, and everything was without any he didn't have any forgot the word, jokios paramos, like
support.
Yeah, like
financial support.
Yes, financial support, and that There were people that also went with him and attended his journey with him, and yeah, I was really surprised by that.
Yeah, it's great. I think often we look outside of our countries, you know, for good examples, and actually there's a lot of things happening just around us. It's very important to find them. And yes, Giedros definitely in a lot of the things he does, he's focused on circular economy, and I know he upcycles old furniture as well, and has different such workshops and educational programs for kids. So it's great, definitely a good example. Another example I could give as well from my experience, because I work with social enterprises now in Lithuania, is a Cup. They have this circular economy based system for reusing cups in events. So you can have, you know, pay a deposit of €1 and you get your cup, and then when you bring it back, and the whole festival uses these cups to avoid single-use cups and avoid a lot of waste from that. So that's another Lithuanian initiative. Does maybe anyone else from the audience has more questions for Gintarė before we continue?
Okay, if no questions, so thank you, Gintarė. And it was the first presentation from Lithuania. Now we call Turkey. And I hope I will pronounce correctly, Öykü and Ozan. They are going to talk also about circular economy. So if you are here with us, please share your screen and we are listening to you.
Yes, I'm sharing my screen in a minute.
Okay, nice.
Okay, can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Ozan, can you start?
Yeah. First of all, we are from the Turkish group. My name is Ozan, my friend is Öykü, and we are going to talk about circular economy today, basically. Shall I? Maybe the world isn't on fire, but you don't need to be a genius to understand the fact it's dying. Every single day, the earth we are living on is falling apart, piece by piece. Don't you feel sad when you see those beautiful animals' bodies covered up in plastics and synthetics? Once upon a time, there wasn't any mountains which are made of trash. I mean trash, literally. Back in days, our parents and grandparents maybe didn't even know what is pollution or extinction. But today, we are trying to figure out our way to survive on a planet which is dying. How did we end up here? Actually, the answer is simple. We made these circumstances. We caused it with our every single mistake. We were living in health thanks to nature, so in a way, sort of. As Nietzsche said, the God is dead, and we killed him.
One of the head reasons which drove us to question whether the world will remain existent or not is the intense change in the climate that we are currently facing. Actually, it's not something that we're new to. Studies have shown that the history of the human activity started influencing the world starts from the 1800s. Even though the climate change is an interference in the development of a planet, it still does not infect the world per se. Unemployment is another massive crisis too. Climate change, since it has an impact on the temperature and rain patterns, may render entire regions unproductive and make workplaces too hot for work, thereby leading to climate-induced migration, the proliferation of precarious and informal work, and an increase in unemployment.
I said the circumstances we are facing today are our responsibility. So every conscious people wait for more details. I will try to talk about that. What were our mistakes and what those caused specifically? First of all, we didn't care. We didn't care about nature, so we polluted it. We didn't care about sources, then we wasted them. We didn't care about animals, and we let them die. We weren't careful because we weren't caring. We should start with that. I could give you examples about distracted natural beauties because of pollution, but you already knew that. I could show you some pictures of polluted areas, but you already seen them. We are running non-stop, directly to our end. Some of us know it, some of us don't. The price of the marathon is that, and believe me, it's not worth it. We need to stop.
Since we've stated that the climate change and pollution has a massive negative effect on our planet, we must state the ways which will prevent our world from collapsing too. Might sound as some sort of a cliche which we all are tired of hearing, but recycling, shall I say, probably is the best way to obviate the climate change. Recycling provides sustainability, and sustainability means meeting our needs without blocking the future generations from having the ability to meet their needs simply. Yet, it's impossible to have a perfect recycling system that the entire world agrees to apply without heightening the awareness of the citizens. Thus, making everyone aware of the situation also plays a big role in preventing the eventual collapse of our planet.
Climate change is one of the biggest issues we are facing today. We know the greenhouse effect causes it, so the pollution does. Weather is getting hotter, glaciers are melting, trees are flowering earlier. These are facts that we can analyze. If we want to live further, we need to get some precautions. We can't stop polluting the earth, it's unstoppable, but we can try to slow down the pollution. It's actually really easy to do for someone who wants to. You can use public transportation, we can put filters to factory fuels, we can use cleaner fuels than oil or coal. As I said, it's really easy to do for a people who wants to. But we can't want something even we are not aware of it. If I don't know it's illegal and wrong to smoke in closed public areas, I will be guilty as charged. But can you say I'm 100% responsible for my actions? I didn't know it was a crime at all. If I don't know the earth is dying, if I don't know there are something easy to do to prevent the earth from collapsing, how can I do that actions? How can I take that precautions? We need to learn, but again, if we are not aware of our ignorance, then we can't learn. So maybe we need to teach. Maybe in schools, maybe in public courses for every age, maybe in the hand of government, maybe in the hand of society, ourselves. It doesn't really matter in the circumstances. The one who knows shall teach.
One of the best ways to example the world to develop externally is applying the circular economy model. The linear economy, which can also be defined as a disposable economy in a sense, is the economy model we have been living in for years. In short, linear economy is what defines the process in which raw materials are taken and used to make a product, and any waste that occurs after the use of the product is thrown away. In this economy model, there is no recycling of the product or its packaging, and it is now considered as waste. Circular economy, on the other hand, is an industrial term that refers to the transformation and recycling instead of production, use and disposal processes in industrial economics. In the circular economy, manufacturers design reusable products, logically, because the goal is to reuse the material. For example, a piece of glass that's been wasted is used to make a new piece of glass, and a piece of paper that's been wasted is used to make a new piece of paper. Electrical devices are designed not to be disposed of when they break down, but to be easier to repair. In this way, products and raw materials are reused as much as possible. And again, in this way, we behave in a more responsible way towards the environment and do not use raw materials as if they were almost unlimited.
In the model of circular economy, even the garbage is useful. So we can use it as a source in recycle, so we won't waste our limited natural sources. And also, we won't be polluting the dirt because we won't be throwing away our garbage, we will be using them. It's a whole another production line, so we can say it's beneficial to economy too. In the long game, our chance to survive will be higher in the model of circular economy. So we can say it's fine for humanity in the bigger picture. We also can use some garbage as fuel, some organic trash as bioenergy sources. And if we can be creative, I believe we can use all the wasted stuff in beneficial ways for Earth and to humanity itself.
When we look at the countries that applied the circular economy model, we see that the European Union pays so much attention to the case. On 4th March 2019, the European Commission adopted a comprehensive report on the implementation of the Circular Economy Action Plan. The report presents the main achievements under the action plan and sketches out the future challenges to shaping our economy and paving the way towards a climate-neutral circular economy where pressure on natural and freshwater resources as well as ecosystems is minimized. The package was represented during the 2019 edition of the Circular Economy Stakeholder Conference on 6th and 7th March, hosted by the European Commission and the European Economic and Social Committee. A common EU target for recycling is 65% of municipal waste by 2035 and 70% of packaging waste by 2030. There are also recycling targets for specific packaging materials. Paper and cardboard, for example, 85%, aluminium 60%, glass 75%, plastic 55%, and 30%. Also, separate collection obligations are aimed to be strengthened and extended to hazardous household waste by the end of 2022, bio-waste by the end of 2023, and textiles by the end of 2025.
When we analyze the countries which are okay with circular economy model, which they accepted them, we can say they are more cleaner than the other countries, and their air, their water are more clean. They are wealthier because they have another economy plan which are actually beneficial to economy too. When we analyze them, we can see it's the proof that circular economy is beneficial to humanity and those countries themselves.
Even though alas, the current situation of the world may seem scary and hopeless, we still believe that it's nothing that's too arduous to handle once we find new ways, such as the circular economy model, to help our world to get before anhedonia takes over. So thank you all so much for taking your time and listening to us both. We really appreciate it a lot.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much for your presentation. It was very interesting. Really powerful message about the state the world is in and all we can do to really contribute. Because like you say, people, 50 years ago, they didn't know that this was such a big problem. And now we do, and we need to be held accountable to it and all do our parts by participating in circular economy and other initiatives and not producing so much waste, like you said. Maybe there is an example of what you do in your own life that you feel is also contributing to the positive that you could share.
Actually, I am an IB student, and if you know that we have CAS, creativity, activities, and service, we don't get to graduate high school without passing that CAS state. So actually, I had to work for older people and younger people to teach them how to recycle the products they've used in their lives. Because I've seen them, nearly all of them, throw like plastic bags and plastic water bottles away, and like that triggered me. So I helped them, for like a 5 weeks time.
Well, I'm not in an organization or in a club or in a different specific school like my friend ECOwe, but in my single life, in my single personality, I'm trying to be beneficial for humanity and the nature. And as I said, the ones who know, they shall teach. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to teach people I know who are not aware of these topics and these issues. I'm trying to teach them. I'm trying to make them more heightened, I guess.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for the work you are both doing and for a great presentation you are teaching today, everyone here. So thank you so much. I think we can move on to the next presentation.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, guys from Turkey. Very nice and useful information. And now we have Portugal here, Luis and Pedro. They will talk about the entrepreneurship for the future. So if you are ready, please share your screen and give your presentation. Thank you.
Good morning. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
Sorry, because we are at school and our internet connection isn't the best, so apologize in advance.
Okay.
If we cut sometimes, okay.
All right.
Can everyone see our screen?
Yes, we do.
Okay, perfect. So
start. Good morning, everyone. First of all, we would like to thank you for the opportunity of being here and playing a part in a project like this. As teenager, it means a lot to us, and we can firmly say that we are proud and thankful in being able to share our vision about what we believe is one of the most important topics discussed worldwide, the environment. We believe that the youth is the future, and we try our best every day to produce a positive impact in our world. That's why we came up with our business idea. We believe that the key is simplicity. So that's what our presentation is going to be based in. We promise to be brief and to make things as clear as intuitive as possible. Hope you enjoy and feel free to ask any questions.
So, the reuse of raw materials is essential to ensure the reduction of the footprint of humanity. There is an urgent need to combat waste, and therefore we seek to achieve various sustainable development goals such as industry and infrastructures innovation, sustainable cities and communities, sustainable production and consumption, and finally, we want to make a positive climate action. As we know, any production of goods or service has an impact on the natural ecosystems of the planet. Raw materials are constantly wasted by companies and industries throughout their production process. As the root of a serious problem, the constant waste, we believe that there's the industry. It drastically affects our planet because the pace of production that they adopt is superior to the natural renewal of the raw materials. It is of great interest a global solution to this problem, and our project, therefore, evokes the Lavoisier law. Nothing is lost, nothing is created, everything is transformed.
The concept of circular economy is born from the idea of a cycle repetition and regeneration. This concept reveals the objective of our project, to avoid the extraction of the resources and consequently generation of waste. So, we base ourselves on the policy of the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle, to keep our project sustainable, making the Portugal industry more ecological. Our solution then is to try and carry out a mapping of raw materials of the end of the productive process, then can be still used. Which means that through the creation of a website or application, the idea would be to map some manufacturing process and understand the waste of raw materials they need. Then understand how to collect and supply these wastes or raw materials and create platforms that make the information available with the objective of promoting agreements between companies and consequently to build a wide network of process based in this methodology.
Working with the circular economy has as its main advantage the offer of scale and visibility to reduce consumption of new raw materials. In this way, similar to the circular economy, our solution will have as principles preservation of natural capital, resource optimization, self-sustaining cycles, involvement of the whole society. Therefore, our project will ensure a more efficient management of natural resources and the prolongation of the product's value, aiming at the dissociation between economic growth and consumption of non-renewable resources. It differs then from the others because we will establish a link between companies providing more affordable prices for raw materials already recycled and optimization of natural resources, taking advantage of what remains at the end of a process to start another. We reaffirm the economic advantages for the consumer, maintaining consumption patterns, and for the producer, not lose quality, and ecological of the Lavoisier cycle.
Although there are some ideas for proposals related to this waste of raw materials, such as the European project No Agricultural Waste, which developed circular economy models for the valorization of agricultural waste, most of which aren't attractive economic offers advantages for industries, which are the roots of the problem. We believe if we create a network between companies that, in addition to the environmental advantage as the economic advantage, industries will join and consumers will not be affected and may maintain high consumption standards and not losing quality of life, but contributing inevitably towards a greater sustainability. The Lavoisier cycle stands out, therefore, for not harming neither the consumer nor the producer, guaranteeing the same quality and reducing the costs of production, which means our solution bets on changing the way resources are managed to build a more sustainable future.
With all said, and hoping that we have given our contributes in the creation of ideas who can lead to even more aligned and concrete projects with the objective of achieving a more sustainable planet, we would like to reinforce how excited we are to embrace new challenges and conferences like this. Once more, we would like to thank you for the opportunity and for giving us a little of your time hearing our ideas.
Thank you. That's it.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. really touched an important area. The mapping is very important, I think, in the circular economy because, there are so many things happening and it's really hard to keep track of what is produced, what kind of waste. And like I said, waste from one organization or business can be a valuable resource for another. And often they may not know that there is these resources out there for them to use and to find those links. So it's very good to have another project like yours to connect those dots and create a network basically so that people can use. I wanted to ask is this a project you've actually started to do, or is just an idea you are proposing?
No, for now, we're just coming up with ideas. We are students and we participated in a project from Spain in a challenge. And that's the idea we came up with, but it's nothing, it's just an idea. Maybe in the future we can make this happen. We are very excited to do it, but for now it's just an idea and we're very thankful to having the opportunity to share it with you. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, well, it's a great idea, and I really wish you luck and hope that you move forward and maybe find more organizations or people who want to get involved. It's never really too early to start. Just because you're a student still, it's okay. It's good to continue with it. Does anyone else have any questions for this team?
I would like to congratulate Portugal team. Great job, guys. So, and Turkey too, because I
Thank you.
couldn't say anything.
Great. Yeah, really, really good work. Really seems like you're interested in it and putting your ideas to work. So congratulations. Great. I think we can move on to the next presentation.
Yes, really a great idea, and entrepreneurship is actually itself a very good thing. So good luck, you guys. And now we are going to the next section, which is about pollution and climate change. And the first presentation will be from Romania. And as I remember, only Iacob will present it, but there are two students who work hard on these presentations. So, Iacob, it's now your turn. And let's start.
Thank you. I would like to say some words, and I would like to share with you a video which my students created. Can you see that?
Yes, we do. We can.
Hello, my name is Florina. I'm 16 years old, and today I would like to talk to you about my country, my city, and my school. So, let's get started. Romania is situated in the southeastern part of Central Europe and shares borders with Hungary to the northwest, Serbia to the southwest, Bulgaria to the south, the Black Sea to the southeast, Ukraine to the east and to the north, and the Republic of Moldova to the east. Romania is also the second largest country in the area, after Poland. Bucharest is the capital of Romania, and the president is Klaus Iohannis. Romania's territory features splendid landscapes, such as the Carpathian Mountains and the legendary Danube River, which ends his 8-country journey at the Black Sea, after forming one of the largest and most biodiverse wetlands in the world, the Danube Delta. Now, let's talk about my city. My city is called Brăila. Brăila is a city in Muntenia, eastern Romania. Here we can find an important part of the Danube River and also an old settlement on the left side of the Danube. Here you can visit a lot of interesting places, such as the Blue Clock situated in the old part of the town, or the Water Castle found in the public garden. Also, the Cinetic Fountain near the municipal is an interesting sculpture, and in the surroundings you can calm your appetite quickly with some traditional meals offered by the numerous restaurants nearby. Now, let's talk about my school. Our school is a technical college and was named after the engineer Edmond Nicolau. Established in 1971, our school offers today upper secondary and vocational education. with different specializations such as tourism and alimentation and food industry. Our school is full of didactic material and labs, such as the Romanian lab, physics lab, technology lab, and many others. Before I finish this video, I want to thank all of my teachers and my classmate Iacob Nicoleta for helping me out with this presentation. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. This was all from me. Goodbye.
So, I wanted to share with you this video because Chelu Florentina, who spoke, couldn't join. So right now, I give the opportunity to Nicoleta to share with you our point presentation. Thank you, Nicoleta.
Okay, a second, please. Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Iacob Nicoleta-Cristina, and today I want to talk to you about a serious problem, air pollution, more specifically recycling. The title for our project is Pollution is Typhoon Evolution. We hope you like it. There are four more important types of pollution: air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, and noise pollution. Air pollution is the contamination of air with impurities. These include dust, smoke, greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide. Water pollution is when waste, chemicals, or other particles cause a body of water to become harmful to the fish and animals that need the water to survive. When we first think of pollution, we often think of trash by the side of the road. This type of pollution is called soil or land pollution. Land pollution is anything that damages or contaminates the land. Noise pollution is defined as unwanted sound. Noise pollution is an excess of annoying degree of sound coming from a particular area. Examples: traffic or aeroplane engines. Air pollution. Some sources of air pollution come from nature. These include eruptions of volcanoes, dust storms, and forest fires. Human activity is a major cause of air pollution, especially in large cities. Human air pollution is caused by things such as factories, power plants, cars, airplanes, chemicals, fumes from spray cans, and methane gas from landfills. Air pollution and the release of gases into the atmosphere can have many negative effects on the environment: global warming, the ozone layer, and acid rain. Air pollution can also make people sick. It can make it difficult to breathe and cause diseases such as lung cancer, respiratory infection, and heart disease. Water pollution. Sometimes water pollution can occur through natural causes like volcanoes, algae blooms, animal waste, and sleet from storms and floods. A lot of water pollutions come from human activity. Some human causes include sewage, pesticides and fertilizers from farms, wastewater and chemicals from factories, sleet from construction sites, and trash from people littering. Water pollution can have disastrous effects on the environment, affects the entire food chain. The fish can suffocate because it reaches a point where there isn't enough oxygen to breathe. Acid rain and oil spills. For over 1 billion people on the planet, clean water is nearly impossible to get. Polluted water can make them sick, and especially on young children. Some bacteria and pathogens in water can make people so sick they can die. Soil pollution. There are many causes of soil pollution, from the trash we throw away in our homes to waste produced at giant factories. Garbage. Some of this trash gets recycled, but much of it ends up in a landfill or on the ground. Mining. Produce large holes in the ground and causing erosion. Farming. Pesticides and herbicides, and factories, the mainly chemicals. Soil pollution can be one of the most visible types of pollution. This type of pollution not only can hurt animals and their habitats, but also is ugly and destroys the beauty of nature. Other types of soil pollution can allow for harmful chemicals to enter into the soil and water. These chemicals can cause animals and plants to die, disrupting the food chain. Landfills release the greenhouse gas methane, which may lead to global warming. The harmful chemicals that can get into the soil and water can cause cancers, deformities, and skin problems. Noise pollution. Noise or sound from the wind, rain, storms, trees, birds, animals are all natural sounds. Noise or sounds from engines, construction, traffic, blaring speakers are all man-made sounds. It's also affecting a range of animals across multiple habitats. Animals are relocating to avoid noisy areas and changes in animal behavior that can have flow-on effects for whole ecosystem. Noise pollution can cause health problems for people and wildlife, both on land and in the sea. Loud or inescapable sounds can cause hearing loss, stress, and high blood pressure. Recycling. Recycling is a way to take trash and turn it into new beautiful products. There are a number of different recycling processes that allow materials to be used more than once. All sorts of materials can be recycled. Some of the most common processes in use today involve recycling plastic, glass, metals, paper, electronics, and textiles. Typical used items made of these materials include soda cans, plastic milk cartons, newspaper, old computers, and cardboard boxes. There are a number of benefits from recycling. These include landfills, mean less trash and save space in dumps and landfills. Resources, when we use materials again, this means we can take fewer resources from the earth. Pollution can produce less pollution, helping to keep our environment clean. Did you know each ton of recycled paper can save 17 trains and 7,000 gallons of water? During your lifetime, you will produce so much trash that it will weigh 600 times as much as you. This will fill so many trucks. Recycling one wine bottle saves enough energy to operate a 100-watt light bulb for 3 hours. Remember, your recycling mission is not impossible. In fact, it is very simple. Don't throw away anything that can be recycled. The presentation comes to an end, and I will invite you to access the link that I will leave in the chat. It is a quiz about ecology named Are You Really Recycling? You'll have the answer from questions after you press the button at the end. And I want to thank you for your participation and goodbye.
Thank you, Nicoleta, very much.
Thank you, Nicoleta.
Just don't goodbye. Just let's chat a little bit.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you so much. Really great overview of pollution. So many different things are happening. We need to, step our game and help out the planet and ourselves while in it. I wanted to ask you a question. What do you think is the main reason why people don't choose to recycle?
Because first, not everyone knows how recycling.
Clink.
Yes,
Yeah.
because not is that easy that it seems, and because people are very lazy nowadays, and it's it is easier not recycling than recycling.
Mm. Yes. And how do you think we can encourage people to recycle more?
We could make recycling education at school, or make more projects in our city about this people recycling.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, definitely. It's very much needed. People need to learn how. Sometimes the systems are too complicated for people to understand how to do it properly. And sometimes recycling is also, in terms of for plastic, for example, it's a lot of it is not possible to recycle. So sometimes it's better to use glass or other materials, because a lot of the plastic is not it's not possible to even recycle it because of all of the things that go into it, the colors and all of these things. Great. I don't know if there's any other questions for Nicoleta from anyone.
I would like to add something that Nicoleta is already a member in another kind of project in our city, and 3 days ago she participated in collection with garbage in the city, not in our school. And I think the most important is to be a model for the others, in my opinion, of course. And then maybe, who knows, the others will do the same thing. We just can hope. I'm not very sure if it is a strategy, what could be a strategy that, but this is my opinion, of course. And I would like to congratulate my team. Thank you, Nicoleta. Earlier, she said that she felt sick about her presentation, but as you can see, she hadn't any reason to do that because she handled very good. Congrats once again.
Yes.
Thank you, Teodora, and thank you, Nicoleta. You are doing a great job, so keep on going. And we are also keep on going, and let me invite 2 girls from Spain, and they will talk about how to save the oceans. So Lucia and Lydia, are you here, girls?
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
Oh, nice to see you.
Hi. These are my students, Lydia and Lucia.
Hi.
We're from the Canary Islands in Spain, and saving the oceans is obviously really important to us. So first of all, I'll let them speak a little bit.
So hi, my name is Lucia. And I am Lydia. And we wanted to talk about saving the oceans because, as our teacher said, we live in the Canary Islands, which means we are surrounded by the sea, and the problem of pollution, water pollution, affects us directly, which is a huge problem. And so that's why we want to show you, well, first of all, we made a poster.
Okay.
We're gonna put it now.
Yeah.
And let us know if you can see it.
Okay.
Not yet.
Just a moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now it's okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So can you see it?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
So we made the poster basically so everyone can just see about the video we're gonna show, because we made a video. So even after the presentation, if you want to rewatch it or you didn't understand something, you can do it by just using the QR at the poster.
Yes.
So now we will show you the video.
Okay.
Please, if there's any problem with the video, let us know. We can share with you the link to YouTube.
Have you ever heard of the pollution of the seas? If we stop to think, how much plastic ends up in our oceans? North Pacific, Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Mediterranean Sea, South Pacific, South Atlantic.
Dumping into the sea, oil spills, industrial activity, plastic. The trash we throw into the ocean is a growing problem. It affects 1.5 million birds, fish, turtles, and whales in the North Pacific. Up to 30% of the fish have ingested plastic.
Importance of the ocean. The seas are the lungs of our planet. They generate most of the oxygen we breathe and absorb the CO2 we produce. They are also a source of food and medicine. Oceans regulate the Earth's temperature.
Canarias is an archipelago, which means that it's a group of islands surrounded by sea. Even though the coast represents only 1% of the surface, it contains almost 50% of the marine species. Precisely for that, the water contamination problem affects us directly.
The biosphere. All species have gone through an evolutionary process and have survived thanks to their adaptation to the environment, creating the fauna in its place. This is why the loss of any of these creatures can be very damaging. Humans are responsible for the disappearance of many species due to the pollution and exploitation of the environment. This is why many animals, such as whales, seals, or fish, are threatened. In the Canary Islands, there are several protected or endangered marine species. For example, turtles, a species of Cimolopsia nodosa, birds, mammals, the Herrenia lobster, the Jameito, or the Majolega limpet.
The sea is subjected to many pressures from humans, from the overexploitation of all kinds of species to the dumping of waste, through problems such as the introduction of foreign species that threaten the local fauna. This has serious consequences. Pollution forces animals to modify their behavior or even to seek new places to live, migrations. Besides, these problems affect the fish and mollusks that we eat, so they also symbolize a problem for our health. We still have time to fix this problem. The planet needs our help.
How can we take care of our oceans?
Reduce your water consumption.
Use ecological products.
Don't throw garbage into the sea.
Reduce your CO2 emissions.
Join the World Oceans Day, a worldwide fund initiative. It celebrates the beauty, richness, and potential of the oceans, but also recalls the consequences and pressures that human activity exerts on this essential part of the biosphere.
Let's take care of the oceans together.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, so did you have any problem watching it? Well, I hope you didn't.
No, not at all. Everything was perfect.
Okay, so we created that video so you can just see what the problem is, because as Lucia said, we live in a group of islands in an archipelago, which is a problem that pollution of the seas are getting closer and closer to our islands. And so we wanted to give you some questions to think about, about what you can do to actually fix that growing problem.
So as we said, humanity has always used the oceans as dams. But what can we do right now? Like, maybe do you think it is a matter of laws, or?
Perhaps it's a personal change more important than demanding political change. Like, there's actually laws that are supposed to fix this problem or try to. But do we really need those laws? Like, are they actually doing something, or we need to change ourselves and our ideas? So we want you to think about this. And if you want to write something or say something, you can. We can discuss about it, because we are really concerned about it.
That was our presentation.
Great, thank you, thank you. It was really great video, and I was wondering if on this poster that you shared, will you be putting the poster up in places where people can find it and watch the video, or is it just for the conference here today?
We can actually export it and we can share the link with the video here in the chat, so any of you can go and check it out whenever you want to.
Yeah, and we also have the poster around the school, and since well, we can share it in like social media and stuff.
Yeah, that's great. It's really spreading the message, making more people aware. And I like the questions you raise. It's very important with the laws. Definitely, laws are good, but we need to enforce them for it to actually make a difference. So very insightful, and I can see that you really care about this issue. Does anyone else have any comments or questions to share?
Or anything they want to say about the questions we made? Well, at least to think about it.
Something. Sorry about that. I'm very curious today. So, because you are living on an island, so I think in the water we have a lot of fishes. I mean, different species. So maybe it is dangerous, the pollution for them. And I would like to ask you if you have such problems in your island. I don't know, maybe any cars or the ships. I'm not very sure if I'm asking the good what I'm telling you. Okay.
We are actually having a lot of trouble with all the garbage. For example, we have a specialized group of vets at one of the centers specializes in wild animals and protection of the seas. And every day arrives a lot of turtles and animals in general that has problems with, for example, ingesting plastics, or turtles with plastics in their necks from cans, and also the tourists can also get hurt because of the garbage, because when they go to the beaches and they just go for a swim, they can actually find a lot of rubbish and garbage. And there's something we try to fix, but we can't fix it because we are just one island and the sea current goes around the world. So all the garbage you throw into the sea, it's reaching us to our islands, and we can just fix it from here.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, Theodora, something else? Thank you, ladies, very much. Very good questions, and we are all very concerned about all those issues you are raising and talking about. So thank you, and good luck to your beautiful country and beautiful island. Okay, and see you next time. And now let's continue with a Turkish team, and Ali and Amir will talk about some water pollution. And are you here, guys?
Yes, we are here and
okay,
trying
very
to
nice. Good.
Are you can see? Do you can
yes.
see?
Everything's okay.
So before getting started, we want to thank you for inviting us and giving the opportunity to share our ideas. So we can start.
Thank you, Ali. Why is water everything? Why should our number one priority is water? Water has been the center of life. We have come from water. All ancient civilizations established near water, and every living thing needs water some way or another. Water is the most important necessity of living.
So how do we affect water? So how do we affect the water as human beings, and what are our impacts on the water? Unfortunately, as human beings, we waste the water by consuming it, as it will not ever run out. We consume the water recklessly, and we pollute it. So we are going to cover these issues with two subtopics, which are water pollution and water scarcity. Let's have a look at water pollution. Water pollution occurs when some contaminated, toxic, and harmful materials enter water bodies such as oceans, rivers, lakes, seas, and so on. Water pollution mostly occurs because of human activities such as daily sewage dumped into seas and oceans. Oil spills and fossil fuel combustions are also polluting the water. These toxic materials cause the degradation of the water quality and affect not only the aquatic ecosystem, but also affect us with some fatal diseases like hepatitis and cholera.
Let's move on to the water scarcity.
Water scarcity can be defined as the lack of freshwater resources to meet the standard demand. How is it possible to face water scarcity while Earth has 326 million trillion gallons of water, and while the water on the Earth cannot leave the Earth? Because 97% of water is salty and just 3% of it is fresh water, and only 1% of the fresh water is liquid because the rest of it is frozen at the poles. So all of the humankind relies on only 1% of fresh water to maintain its lives. Let's have a look at how do we use water. Here is a pie chart published by World Bank that shows us liquid freshwater use. As it can be seen from the chart, agriculture accounts for the majority of the freshwater use with a 70% rate. Industry takes second place with 22%, and lastly, our personal usages such as washing hands, washing dishes and clothes, toilet flushing, and having shower only accounts 8% of the chart.
The foods and the products that we use also require a very big amount of water. For example, it takes 4,000 liters of water to make a single burger, or it takes 10,000 liters of water to make a single pair of jeans.
In most places in the world, water is traded and priced like it will always be enough of it. That's why we end up using the water recklessly and use the most inefficient method of irrigation in agriculture, which is just flooding the fields.
That sounds really bad, but how bad is the case really, and what will happen if it continues?
The world faces many struggles like these because of us.
We are wasting and polluting the water like there is no tomorrow. At the current pace, there will not be enough fresh water available to meet global energy needs by 2040. Some examples of this are: in 2010, Gulf of Mexico, an oil drilling rig explodes, causing 11 casualties and an oil leak. 3.90 million barrels of oil were let into the ocean. This incident affected the sea life and animals that live near the seashore. That amount of oil can fill 204 Olympic swimming pools. The river Yamuna in India, which takes over 70% of the sources of New Delhi's water supply, is a perfect example of a polluted river.
The water contamination of this Median River is horrible. That death, disease, cancer, organ damage appears in people's life because of this river.
Not only the pesticides causes pollution of the river, the heavy metals such as copper, lead, zinc, and nickel are also the causes.
Even though the filter and filtering techniques are used by people right now, they cannot solve the water pollution radically.
So this sounds very bad, but what can we do as a citizen? First of all, as citizens, we should realize that we can have to stop water pollution too. Some example of this are: do not pour fat, oil, grease into sinks. This will poison the water.
Do not dispose household chemical and cleaning products down to sink.
Do not use toilet to flush tissue, cloth, or paper goods.
Run the dishwasher or clothes washer only when you have a full load. Think like these kinds of things makes a huge difference.
If everyone would be a little more responsible about this topic, we wouldn't have to make a presentation today.
And thank you for listening to us, and please be more careful about water issues.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Really great presentation. A lot to think about. I think a lot of times when we, buy a pair of jeans or some food, we don't think about all of the water that's gone into producing it, not just, that we're going to use to wash it later, but also to grow everything and so on. So it's really great that you touched on all of those areas as well. I have a question to you about after getting into this knowledge and finding out all of these things, how has that changed your behavior and the choices that you make? Have you seen any difference?
I actually reduced the consumption of fast food like these products, because these actually make the most carbon footprint. So reducing in these areas is very helpful for nature.
And for me, I get more info. As I get more information about this topic, I started to inform other people about these water pollution and water scarcity issues, because I believe that the more conscious society, the less water pollution and water scarcity is.
Yeah, of course. Great. It's great to hear that you're sharing the information with other people and also changing your own actions and becoming an example, as we've just talked about before already. That it's very important to show by example, because then people can see, okay, it's possible, and adapt different methods themselves. Does anyone have any other questions for this team and about water pollution or comments? If not, then I guess we can continue with the next one. Thank you so much. Really great presentation.
Yes, really, thank you, Ali and Emir. Yeah, good job. And we have one more presentation in this section about pollution and climate change. And let's invite Duru and Elif, and also a team from Turkey. And hello, Elif. Nice to see you. Are you going to be alone?
No, I'm here too.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, so girls, now it's your turn, and let's talk about the global warming. Okay.
Yes, just a minute. Okay, I'm trying to share our slides.
Okay. Yes, it's okay. We can see them.
Okay. First of all, hi everyone. And my name is Duru, and I'm from Turkey.
And I'm Elif, and we would like to thank you for this opportunity, firstly. And we would like to thank everyone here because of the effort they've given in to their presentations and to save these issues.
And today, my friend Elif and I will be talking about global warming and how it affects us, how it affects world and animals and plants, and how we can prevent from happening. So let's start.
Welcome to our global warming presentation. Let's talk about the climate change. People are calling it the crisis of our time. It is. The Earth is facing the danger and the destroying effects of the climate change, also known as global warming. Well, what exactly is the climate change everyone is talking about? Even our friends in the presentations talk about it at some point, because it's so important and it's a huge problem today. And what exactly is it? it is long-term. It's a long-term problem, and it's a massive and it has massive and permanent damages. It I'll get excited. I'm sorry.
Everything's okay. Calm down.
It's okay, Ellie. Come on.
Well, there are a lot of gases released from human activities, which we'll talk about later. So all those gases in the air, and when sunlight gets into Earth's atmosphere, some of the heat gets trapped, and this is called the greenhouse effect.
Well, what causes the climate change exactly? Answer is actually really easy. Our human activities causes the climate change, such as destroying forests, agricultural activities, factories, which releases carbon dioxide, and toxic gases that are released from burning fossil fuels, aerosol gases like perfumes and deodorants that we use every day. And even before the COVID-19, people in China were using masks and breathing filters when they were out in public because of the toxic gases in the air, which causes the air pollution. And the machines that are used for destroying forests not only releases carbon dioxide, but also destroys plants that absorb the carbon dioxide. But how do we know that our human activities are the cause of climate change and not the Earth's natural process? Well, our civilizations produced a devastating 40 billion tons of carbon dioxide last year, just in 1 year, and it equals to 19 million Empire State Buildings.
Our planet with the climate change is like a bathtub, being filled with more water than it can drain. Eventually, it will fill up with more than it can handle. But why should we care about the global warming? Because the Earth is heating up more and more each and every year. But the concern is not that the Earth is heating up, it's that it's happening far too quickly. Animals and plants are struggling to adapt to these conditions for survival. If even one species goes extinct, it can create a domino effect with the food chain. No living others means no living humans.
And the rising temperatures makes the Earth's oceans become warmer. Since the oceans are becoming warmer, the polar ice caps are melting. The Earth loses on average 400 billion tons of ice each year, which is added to the oceans. The oceans are filled with too much water in the shores like Louisiana. Well, what can we do to prevent this from happening? It's easy. Instead of burning fossil fuels, we need to convert renewable energies such as solar and wind power, which causes zero carbon pollution. Sun and wind are infinite. Unlike fossil fuels, we will never run out of them. And if we plant more trees, instead of the ones we destroy, there will be more plants actively absorbing the carbon dioxide from the air.
But how can I help personally right now? To save energy, we should pull the plugs. We shouldn't throw used batteries into nature. We can walk or bike places and take public transportation. We should prefer homemade food instead of ordering in. We shouldn't waste water. We can increase the amount of the perfumes and deodorants we use every day. And we can change our normal light bulbs to LED light bulbs.
And there are actually three important words: reduce, reuse, and recycle. If we can adapt these to our day-to-day lives, we make a great contribution to the prevention of global warming, which is our aim in this project. And our last matter is spreading the information around. The more people hear, the more people will care about it. Although we are the problem, I think we can also be the solution. So let's change the climate change and make everything all right again. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation.
And thank you in advance for what you will do to save the world.
Yes, it was it.
Yeah, and thank you, girls, for thinking about saving the world and for analyzing those issues. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Very great presentation. A lot to think about. So many things happening, and it's important to take those steps, like you said, in different areas. Switch to renewable energy, and of course, look at your own impacts and waste. And really, congratulations on a good presentation. It's always, I know, nerve-wracking in the beginning, but you did really, really well. So thank you. Also, another thing to consider. for the absorption of CO2, it's not only trees. There's a lot of other practices that are also very important. For example, the soil actually absorbs a lot of CO2 and all of the microorganisms and bacteria. And you can look at agriculture and agricultural practices, which are better for climate, for absorbing and not disturbing the natural balance, because when it's a good soil that has all of these microorganisms, it can also absorb a lot. So just something to look into if you're passionate about this topic. Maybe somebody else has any questions for this team or about climate change? If not, then thank you so much, girls. Really, really good job, and I hope you continue working in this area. It's needs more help. The world needs more help.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, girls, once again. And now, according to our program, we should have a short break. What do you think? Do we need it, or should we go on? Teachers, what do you think? To have a short break, 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
I think we need a break. At least.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so to be sure, let's come back 20 to 2. Okay, so we have up to 8 minutes. And we hope to see all of you here. Don't disappear. Okay. Yes, Theodora, you would like to say something?
No. I wrote in chat for a break.
Yes.
You said
I saw that.
8 minutes. It's okay.
Okay, so 20 to 2. See you soon. Okay, hello Ignas, I'm talking to you, but my microphone is switched off. Nice to see you. Okay, are we back?
I think we are.
Okay, so if we have the next team from Germany here, actually Luisa, the only girl who is going to present microplastics, and we are starting session number 3. Okay, and Luisa, are you here with us? Luisa? Okay, Mr. Andres, is your student here with us? No, not yet. Okay, but maybe we have Emilia from Lithuania, from the school Saulės Gojus.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Emilia, so maybe let's start now and you will talk about the microfibers and so on. And then we will ask Luisa to join us, okay? So please share your screen and... Oh, okay, we see that Luisa's microphone is not working, so maybe you can check something, well, until your turn comes. Okay.
Okay, so I'll try to share my screen. Please give me a heads up if it's working.
Okay.
Okay, so I hope you can see
Yeah,
it. Can you see it?
Yes, it's working.
Okay,
Beautiful.
great, great. So, hello everyone. I am Emilia Zilinskaitė, a 7th grader from the school Saulės Gojus, and today I will present on how to reduce microfiber emissions from our textiles. So, what is microplastic and what are the microfibers and how are they any different and what's the difference between them? So, plastic is the most widespread marine waste that comes in many shapes and sizes, but those that are less than 5 millimeters in length are called microplastics. Now, microfibers are synthetic materials such as polyester and nylon. They represent about 60% of the clothing material worldwide and are often chosen by the fashion industry because of their affordability and durability. So what is the problem about them? The problem is that when washed and worn, clothes made out of synthetic materials lose tiny plastic fibers that end up in the environment. That plastic that ends up in the ocean does not biodegrade, it fragmentizes into smaller pieces. And every time we do our laundry, an average of 9 million microfibers are released into the wastewater treatment plants that cannot filter them. Because of that, the fibers end up in the ocean and are later being eaten by species which travel the food chain up to our plates. We cannot see the result of this process right now because there is more research that needs to be done, but sooner or later we will see the consequences and the problems that will be facing us because of it. And now the microfiber experiment that I performed. My goal was to find out the effect of washing machines on textiles and to find out how to reduce the release of microfibers into the water. This is how the experiment works. We create the scenarios that will be presented in a few minutes and a plan on how everything is going to go. And then we get to work. So first of all, we set up the beaker with the water, we fill it up, make sure that the measurements such as the temperature are correct. Then we pour the water from the beaker into the jar that already has some cloth in it and shake it for 5 minutes straight. Then we set up the flask, the butcher funnel, and the syringe. Before we place the filter paper into the butcher funnel, we have to draw a square on it that's measurements are 4 square centimeters, so that later we can examine the results of microfibers on 1 square centimeter. After that, we place the filter paper inside of the butcher funnel and make sure that it fits perfectly. Here you can see the filter paper and we place it inside. Then we pour the water from the jar through the butcher funnel into the flask and help to pump it out by using the double-ended syringe. After that, we take out the filter paper with something sharp because you have to be very careful and put it on some stereo surface to dry out. And after the paper is dry, Yep. And after the paper is dry, we put it under the microscope and examine the results. So these were the scenarios that I created. As you can see, there is the base one and the other ones that have slight changes. For example, this one has higher temperature and this one has twice more cloth than the base one. I had to repeat each one of the scenarios 3 times just to be sure. So I did the whole experiment. I repeated it 9 times in total, and it took me 3.5 hours. And now the results. What did I find out, and everything else. So from the data I collected, here is what I can tell. The results show that the base scenario caused the most microfibers to be released, 16 microfiber parts per 1 square centimeter to be exact, and the one with more cloth, the least, 3 microfiber parts per 1 square centimeter. From these results, we can make an assumption that the more clothes you put in to the washing machine, as weird as it may sound, the less microfibers are being caused to erupt. And here are some photos from the actual experiment. Here we can see the butcher funnel, down there we can see the flask, and here we can see the syringe. You cannot really see the filter paper because it's wet and it's now transparent, but you can see the 4 square centimeters that are drawn on, and we counted the microfibers for each one of the squares. And this is a photo from the experiment. Here you can see the microfiber. It's a polyester microfiber, and it is blue because the cloth was blue. And here is the other one. That's a bigger one, yeah. So here are some of the recommendations proven by my experiment and science both to help us save the environment. A recommendation that is based on my experiment is that when doing laundry, make sure that it is full with clothes and don't leave out any unused space. Some other recommendations that are based by science are to use lower temperature. The average is about 35-40 degrees Celsius, because the higher the temperature, the more microfibers are being released. We can also see that in my experiment. Also, try using mechanisms that help to stop the microfibers, such as the washing machine filters and the Cora ball. So I hope you all learned something new from my presentation, and thank you very much for the time and the opportunity. And are there any questions?
Thank you, Emilia, for joining us, actually.
Yeah, thank you, Emilia. Really, really great that you actually took the time and made a practical experiment of the things you've learned about. And thank you for such practical suggestions and recommendations for people. So now everybody knows when doing the laundry what to do. That's great. Have you thought about maybe some other things that people can do to reduce microplastics, microfibers coming into the environment?
Yes, of course. One of the many solutions, because I think we can find a lot, is to use materials that have been sustainably sourced. For example, not use the materials that are made out of polyester, acrylic, nylon, and try switching to ones that are naturally sourced. Yeah, I could think of more, but yeah.
Oh, that's great, great. Really start with these. You know, it always takes time to put new practices into effect and make them a habit. So it's a great start. And I'm wondering if you are planning to maybe replicate this experiment with or do like more experiments in this area.
Well, there is no certain plan, but I for sure would love to do that. Yeah.
Ah, that's great. great to see. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Emilia?
No. Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Emilia, once again. Thank you. Okay, now let's go back to Luisa. Luisa, is everything okay now?
Hopefully you can hear me now.
Yes, we
Okay.
can. Okay, good.
So first of all, my name is Luisa. I'm from Germany and I'm 17 years old. And the topic I've chosen is microplastic. So, I don't know how I make it work. Wait a second.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Yes, yes, yes. Everything's okay.
Okay. So first of all, I want to explain you how I structured my presentation. First, what is microplastic? Second, how does microplastic arise? Third, absorption into the body and its risks. Sorry. 4, consequences for animals and nature. And 5, avoidance and alternatives. So, what is microplastic? Microplastics are plastics with a size between 100 nanometers and 5 millimeters. Often, they are so small you can't even see them. On this picture, you can see a human hair compared to a nanometer. Second, how does microplastic arise? There are basically 2 types of microplastics, primary and secondary microplastics. Primary microplastics are already being produced in its final form. It is mainly found in clothing and cosmetics, such as toothpaste, chewing gum, peelings, makeup, sponges, fleece fabric, and shower gel and shampoos. Secondary microplastics are caused by the decay of other plastics into smaller pieces. This can happen due to several factors. For example, friction of tires, washing polyester clothing, and decomposition through water and sunlight. Third, absorption into the body and its risks. Up to 5 grams of microplastic is every person consuming per week. This is equivalent to the weight of a credit card. On which ways microplastics can enter our body is not completely clear yet. It is certain that our food is heavily burdened by microplastics. These include, for example, seafood, salt, vegetables and fruit wrapped in plastics, drinking out of a plastic bottle. And it's also pretty interesting that water cannot run bad. But why is a shelf life date set? It's because from this point, toxic ingredients of the plastic bottle can dissolve, so it's not recommended to continue drinking the content. And yeah, the danger does not only emanate from food. Also in the air, the plastic particles can be found everywhere, so we take them to us during every single breath. Microplastics and their effects on our health are still largely unexplored. The consequences for our health can therefore neither be quantified or guessed. However, some ingredients, such as bisphenol A, are classified as harmful to health. Bisphenol A is a synthetic hormone that leads to a disturbance of the hormone balance and human reproduction. In addition, it can harm the embryo in the womb and lead to malformations. Fourth, consequences for animals and nature. The negative effects of microplastics are best researched in our seas. There it ends up in the digestive tract of animals, from whales, fish to small creatures. Mostly they cannot distinguish what is plastic or food, because they have the same shape, color, and size. It leads to digestive problems, inflammation, or death, but mostly they starve with a full stomach. In the bodies of dogs, cats, etc., micro and nanoplastics were found in the lymphatics, in their blood, and even inside the liver. The biggest problem, however, are not the toxins that accumulate on the microplastic particles. Toxins stick to the microplastics as they act as a kind of magnet. The living beings who confuse the plastics with food are so absorbing all the poison which sticks to the plastics. The higher the animals stand in the food chain, the more pollutions they are absorbing. These pollutions can cause severe inflammation in the stomach and intestine. They also lead to a disturbed abnormal hormonal balance, which is endangering the reproduction of the animals. These pollutions can, of course, also cause death. Of course, not only the animals are endangered by microplastics, but also the plants that absorb microplastics through the roots. The plants look sick. Oh. Sorry. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Of course, not only the animals are endangered by the microplastics, but also the plants that absorb microplastic through the roots. The plants look sick as the leaves turn yellow, brown. They also grow very slowly and do not bear fruits, as they are too weak for this. Once microplastics are in rivers and the sea, they cannot be removed. Scientists have discovered that even in the Arctic deep sea, which is considered one of the least touched habitats, the amount of plastic waste has increased significantly over the past decade. The smaller the plastic particle, the bigger the risk of ingestion and the number of animals that consume it. My last point is avoidance and alternatives. A first step to avoid microplastics is not to buy clothes made out of polyester. During washing, thousands of small plastic fibers are released from a single garment, and these can only be partially filtered out. As an alternative, just use cotton or sheep's wool instead. Another step is to avoid driving with a car. While driving, the tire rubs off, and these particles all end up in the air and in the ground. As an alternative, the train would offer itself. Short distances could easily be driven with a bike. Furthermore, you could use cosmetics and care products without microplastics inside or in a plastic bottle. Typical types of microplastics in cosmetics are identified as AC, PA, PP, or PQ. There are already solid shampoos and conditioners as an alternative to plastic bottles. Another step is to generally avoid buying plastics. If you just prevent plastic, it can't even come to the decompose of plastics to microplastic. Meanwhile, you can find an ecological alternative to almost every daily product made out of plastic. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Luisa. Very informative and very interesting.
Yeah, definitely very in depth. Oh, sorry, Teodora, you were saying.
No, please.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely very informative, and you've really looked into this area in depth, which is great. So thank you for that. You're really not just looking at the basics, but actually going quite deep. So very good. And yeah, I think it's very important to reduce the ways that plastic comes into our environment, because it never goes away, unlike natural materials that can decompose and become part of the system once again. But plastic always stays. It just becomes smaller and smaller, and it's more difficult to get it out and clean it up, and eventually it comes into our systems and affects our health and our well-being, and as well, of course, the planet. How have also a question that I like to ask, I guess, is how has learning this changed your behavior? What have you maybe changed or have decided to maybe pursue more information, or how has that affected you?
Good question. For example, I'm not using peelings the way I used them before. At this point, I'm creating them by myself. Just use sugar and oils and don't use plastic.
Yeah.
Small and simple way to reduce microplastics.
Yeah, of course. And if we all do the small changes, then it'll have a big effect in the future. Definitely. Great. Thank you so much for your presentation. I think we can move on to the next student.
Okay, we have one more team from Germany, and these are two young gentlemen, Jonas and Lucas. Are you prepared to talk about recyclable plastics?
Yeah. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, very well. Great, we can see everything.
You see the right part? Or is this better?
We can see your slides and two photos of Lucas
We can
and
see your
Jonas.
pictures in the PowerPoint
Okay.
presentation.
Okay.
I already have. Na, eigentlich ist mein Bildschirm geteilt. Now you should see the right window, or?
Yes, we see everything.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, it's okay. Jonas, you can start.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jonas Kumarek. I'm 19 years old.
And I am Lukas Laxganger. I'm 18 years old, and we go to the Wasserburg Vocational School, and we are making an apprenticeship as a technical product designer. And right to this, we are making a short presentation about how to design a recyclable plastic packaging.
So, first of all, you need to know how the plastic packaging is recycled. And for that, you need to know that mainly only PE, PP, PET, and PS plastics are recycled. And the plastic packaging is separated according to the size and a sorting system. And it is you have to know that the plastic is detected by a near-infrared scanner. And in this picture, you can see an infrared light and a machine, how it looks like. And important to know that only one type of plastic can be detected at the time. So the plastics have to be scanned more often. And it runs through several 3 miles. In this picture, you can see how it looks. It is the machine got many assembly lines and is really long. You can see in this picture. And very important to know is that the cleaner the separation into individual types of plastics is, the better it can be later processed into high quality products. But there can also problems arise. And for example, you have to remove the aluminum lid of a yogurt cup completely. Otherwise, it will be sorted out and later it will be burned. And one also important thing to know is that the infrared scanner can not detect black plastic packaging, and it is then also sorted out. So you can go on, Lucas.
I go on with how to design the plastic packaging. At first, the plastic packaging should be easy to identify as such. If the packaging cannot be correctly differentiated from the packaging made from other materials, it may end up in the wrong waste system and then it cannot be recycled. Second part is the material combinations, which make orderly sorting more difficult, should be avoided. So the combinations of plastics and other types of materials like paper, cardboard, metal should be avoided, especially if they cannot be easily separated by the customer. Like in this example, the cardboard packaging. Is this small plastic window really necessary, or could you avoid it? Then choose the right type of polymers. Polymers that are most common in packaging and easy to recycle increases the chance that the packaging material can be recycled in most regions. So like Jonas already said, it's PE, PP, for soft drinks bottles, PET and PS. And then try to minimize the number of polymers used in the packaging. This increases recyclability. And if this is not functionality possible, try to keep the number of polymers as low as possible and try that the different types of polymer can be easily separated, like within thread. And in this example, the shampoo bottle is made out of two different types of plastics, PP and PET. No, PE, sorry. And the last point is minimize the use of pigments in plastic packaging. So unpigmented polymers are more valuable than pigmented ones as a recycling material. So carbon black should be completely avoided because the near infrared light cannot detect them correctly, and then it cannot be recycled. Yeah, and from these 5 points, you can maybe look out for when you're next time shopping, and maybe you buy the shampoo bottle, which is transparent. Yeah, this helps to keep our environment safer. Thanks.
That's it.
Thank you, guys. We will definitely think of your recommendations.
Yeah, great. Thank you, and thanks for listing. Yes, how we can tell which plastics are which ones, so we can also make informed decisions when buying any products. I have a sort of question. Have you maybe spoken, or maybe you have some ideas? Why do manufacturers of packaging make this type of packaging that is not recyclable?
Yeah, I think that the black plastic or a black shampoo bottle is yeah well, yeah, how can I say it? It looks cooler, and some people think, yeah, it looks cool, and it's maybe you buy this instead of transparent, which don't look so cool, and that's maybe a big problem.
Yeah, it's like a marketing problem.
Yeah, definitely. It's about about what the manufacturers think the customer wants. But if we are all customers, right? So if we decide that no, black is bad, then we can make a difference in that way there as well. Then they will sort of not use those materials maybe in the following. And thanks to you also for showing that sometimes the paper boxes that still have plastic in them are actually worse because it's not then possible to recycle. And of course, the people have to separate those out as well. So we'll have to be keen and have an eye out for what we have to do. Great. So thank you so much for your presentation.
I have a question actually.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to ask Kind if the guys can put on our chat the code for those, I don't know, PT, what exactly means for each of them, if they can, not even right now, but till the end of our conversation, of our conference, please, if you can put here. It's just it's not obligatory, but I would like to be here in chat to see everybody, if you can, please.
Yeah. Okay. Should we post a short link to a website, or should we
Yes.
write it in the
Okay.
chat?
Thank you,
Well,
Lucas.
you
Thank you so
just
much.
decide yourself. You decide yourselves, okay, Lucas, just and Jonas, which is more convenient to you, but just to have the information.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
All right. Okay, thank you. So we are turning now to the fourth section, which is the last one, and it's about sustainability. And we have 3 more presentations. So let's call Katre now from Lithuania, and she will talk about sustainability and reuse. Katre, are you here with us?
I'm here. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can. Very nice, and we can see you. Thank you.
Can you see what I'm sharing?
Not yet.
Still not, or
no, still nothing. Okay, need some help or more time?
A little bit more time.
Okay, so maybe we can ask Portugal now. Anna. Oh, 2 Annas actually. Are you ready, girls?
Yes, we are ready. Whenever.
All right. Oh, sorry. No, Katre. Oh, Katre, it's okay. Now we can see your screen. So, dear Annas, please, just 5 minutes, okay, and it will be your turn.
Okay.
Sorry, I guess it took a little bit.
Sorry.
I guess it took a little bit more time for it to load. Can you see my slides?
Yes, Katre, we can see your presentation. The first slide, I guess.
Okay, so my name is Katre, and today I'll be talking about sustainability and reuse. So the topics are sustainability, which branch out into economic, environmental, and social sustainability. And I'll be talking about reusing and reducing as well. So first of all, what is sustainability? So sustainability's main focus is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. And it is said that...
I'm sorry, Katre, but your slides are not changing. Because we still see the first one.
Maybe it's taking a lot of time for it to load, I guess.
Oh, maybe. Okay, anyway, let's continue, okay? And if we can see, so that will be great.
We just see your profile picture, like from Google. So I think you have to go to the presentation.
You can still see my profile picture?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try to change it then. Then can the next students present?
Okay, then dear Annas, now it's really your time. Okay, just...
we are ready. Just let us... Okay.
Okay, thank you, girls.
Just a minute. Okay, can you see?
Yes.
Okay. So, hello. We are Ana Filipa and Ana Sofia, and today we are here to talk about sustainability and ways to make our life more sustainable.
Sustainability is something that we currently hear about, but do people really know what it is? Sustainability is the capacity to sustain or conserve a process or system. It addresses the way to act concerning nature from a community to an entire planet. Are some types of sustainability? Okay. Environmental sustainability encompasses the conservation and maintenance of the environment. Social sustainability suggests the equality of individuals based on the...
Wait, sorry. Our slides aren't working, I think. I'm sorry.
Yes, they are not.
Wait, just a little bit, I'm sorry. Professora, se calhar é melhor não pormos a moda de apresentação, porque acho que não está a funcionar mesmo por causa disso. Não é muito chato. Não, pera, porque já vi que não se calhar funciona. É porque a página pode ser salva. Veja lá agora, se...
Okay, now it's okay.
Okay. Sorry. We will continue from the types of sustainability.
Okay, so social sustainability suggests the equality of individuals based on the well-being of the population. Corporate sustainability presents social responsibility strategies of companies based on sustainability. And finally, economic sustainability comes from a sustainable management model. It implies the proper management of natural resources that aim to economic growth, social development, and improvement of income distribution.
So why is sustainability important? Sustainability is all about protecting the environment. Its objective is to minimize the negative impact we have on the environment and emphasize behaviors that positively impact it. The quality of our environment affects public health due to things like water and air quality, for example. In general, sustainability is important because we cannot maintain our quality of life as human beings unless we embrace it. If we want future generations to have a safe and sound environment to live in, we have to change the way we behave and stop the constant disrespect towards our planet.
So I'm going to talk a little about simple gestures that we can choose to apply to our daily lives, but be aware that there are so many more. The first item is the toothbrush. We all have and buy them regularly, and because of that, we threw them away regularly. So you can make a big difference by buying biodegradable toothbrushes instead of the usual plastic ones. Cloth napkins. We all know the cloth napkins. They're those you use, and since you can't
paper napkins.
Exactly. We all use the paper napkins. We usually use. Since we can't recycle them, we threw them away. So with cloth napkins, you can reuse and wash them. No need to waste precious paper. Reusable bags are one of the easier changes to do, but people still refuse to do it.
All we need is to buy reusable bags, and when you go to shopping, use them. Plastic bags are one of the biggest causes of pollution in our oceans, so let's stop this bad habit. And this last one is for menstruating individuals. Instead of the usual pads, try reusable pads. Or if you prefer tampons, try menstrual cups. And look, as these options are more ecological. These products can be expensive when you first buy them, but they will last longer and you may even spend less money than if you buy disposable ones.
Fast fashion. Some of you may not even know what it is and why it is a problem. It refers to big brands who push runaway styles to consumers quickly, have a ton of items, constantly getting new things and selling them for cheap. We all buy clothes in these shops and don't think much about it, but this industry is one of the most pollutant ones. Just as an example, you need 700 gallons of water to make one cotton shirt. And these shirts can take up to 80 years to break down in landfills. It has a huge impact, and most workers in this industry don't earn a living wage. So how can we change this? Just like any other thing, not buying these products. But then you ask me, where am I supposed to get clothes then? You have lots of options. The simpler one is to get secondhand clothes. Beautiful clothing is sell at a very accessible price. And if you cherish them, you can wear them for a long time. But if you aren't a fan of hand-me-downs, you can also buy from ecological brands. But as these can be expensive, if you don't have the money, always consider local and small businesses first before going to a fast fashion brand. If you still aren't convinced, you can always not contribute to the massive waste of clothes. So you can do so by using your clothes as much as you can, and once you don't like them anymore, don't throw them away. Give them to someone or donate them.
As we all know, fossil fuels are a big problem. If you want to help the environment and have a sustainable lifestyle, we can ignore this. Our suggestions are get a bike, walk, use public transport as much as you can. You might think it doesn't make much of a difference, but it does.
Sustainability is one of the most relevant things in our lives, even if we don't realize it. Our future and its quality depend on whether we change the way we live to a more sustainable and ecological one or not. Some people disregard this problem and say it isn't real. We should educate them, show scientific proof, and do our best to convince them to help. Education is very important, and it is up to us, the younger generation, to educate our elders and also contribute to the education of kids, leading by being a positive example. We think that a sustainable life is a better life, and that we all should do our best to make a brighter future for us and our future generations. We also just wanted to say, we don't want you to be a visco girl. Don't go around just saying, oh my God, I am so ecological, and then just buy everything made of plastic. Don't be a visco girl, but be an ecological person. We also wanted to give credits to a person that I follow on Instagram. Her name is Mariana Filipa. She's an ambientalist, and we used most of environmentalists, and we used lots of posts of her to do this presentation. Thank you for listening
and for your attention.
And for your attention.
Thank you, Eco Girls. Very nice presentation. Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. really touched on multiple subjects in the sustainability area, which is great because it's very broad. And I think it's sometimes very difficult to understand a subject when it's like it's made up of so many small pieces. But you did a great job to give us a nice overview and look at more practical examples as well. So you mentioned fast fashion. I was wondering, do you know any brands and who have these ethical practices that you like, or maybe that you know of?
Sustainable or fast fashion? Sorry, I couldn't.
Sustainable brands who have ethical
Sustainable
practices.
brands. I did look some up, oh, I'm sorry, I don't really remember the name. We have H&M has a sustainable line that they did, I think, some like last year or something, and it's really cool, and I think most brands should start doing these kinds of things, and it's a good example, I think. There are lots of ecological brands here in Portugal too, mostly shoes made by more sustainable materials, and I do like seeing them, and I have never bought one because they are very expensive, as I said in the presentation, but I always try to wear my clothes as much as I can, and donate the ones I don't use anymore.
Great. Yeah, that's great. And thank you so much for, like you said, being part of this education, right, of helping people learn and passing on the everything that you've learned in your journey.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, girls. Katre, are you ready? What do you think?
I hope that it works right now, but I'm still not entirely sure. Can you see my full screen right now?
Yeah. Okay, now.
Yes.
Does it change?
Not yet. Палясь презентация.
So.
Not yet. Dar nepaleidai. Pamėgink apačioj tą ženkliuką taurelę paspausti, kad matytųsi visos skaidrės. Per visą ekraną.
See the PowerPoint, it's okay.
Okay, we can actually see your slides, just not in a full screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
So,
let's go on.
Like I said, I will be talking about sustainability, and I'll be talking more in depth about economic sustainability, environmental and social sustainability, and I will also be talking about reusing and reducing. So what is sustainability? Sustainability's main focus is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. And to be truly sustainable, the overall demand for natural resources has to be less than the biocapacity. So,
okay, Katre, do your slides need to be changed or not yet? Because they are not changing. Oh, now it's okay. Good.
So, sustainability is composed of 3 pillars: economic, environmental, and social, also known as profits, planet, and people. So economic sustainability. A sustainable economy is one that provides for the greatest amount of general well-being for the least amount of used resources and environmental harm done. So modern industrialized economies overproduce. Average levels of life satisfaction have not increased in the past 50 years, and yet the amount of production has more than doubled. And the constant drive for economic growth is connected to population growth and the increased standards in living. So this is a quote about economic sustainability that I like, and it says that we don't need to invent anything new. We can just learn from past societies that have lived sustainably for years. And a sustainable human community has to be designed in a way that its technologies and social institutions honor and support nature's inherent ability to sustain life, which it does best. So there are new economics. Individuals and institutions both play a unique role in environmental sustainability, and here are some of them. So steady state means a no growth in the size of the economy, but growth in the quality of the economy. This would include a much better redistribution of wealth and sustainable long-term well-being for all. Circular economy means that all outputs of the economy are not wasted, but recycled back into production. So simply, waste can be turned into a resource. Localized means decentralization of economic activity. This would make economies more self-sufficient, resilient, and stable, and would also provide increased opportunities for more people. And solar simply means a non-carbon economy. So here are a few simple ways to be economically sustainable. One of them that has been mentioned before is shopping at local businesses and restaurants and supporting them, as well as purchasing most of your clothes from thrift and secondhand stores. Environmental sustainability. So it is responsibly interacting with the planet to maintain its natural resources. Social sustainability is a process of creating sustainable and successful places that promote well-being by understanding the people and their own needs from the places they live and work at. So there are 5 dimensions of social sustainability. The first one is equality. So equality is the act to reduce disadvantages to certain groups or helping certain groups to remove barriers to have more control of their lives. It also includes identifying the causes and reasons of the disadvantages and finding ways to reduce them. Diversity. Diversity includes finding needs from different diverse groups of different diversity types and assess their needs and just educating everyone to have diverse viewpoints. That can be your siblings, your parents, your friends, etc. Social cohesion. That means increasing participation by individual in a target group, as well as helping those target groups to access public and civic institutions. And one really important factor is to build links between different target groups in a broader way by encouraging them to contribute to society as well, meaning that we have to make it easy for them to contribute. And democracy and governance. So governance is to make sure budget and resources are adequate to sustain sustainability programs and the ability to measure it. So reusing and reducing. And the most effective way to reduce waste is to not create it in the first place. Of course, it is easier said than done. What are the benefits of reducing and reusing? So it prevents pollution that is caused by reducing the need to harvest new and raw materials. It saves energy, it reduces greenhouse gas emissions that also contribute to climate change. It reduces the amount of waste that will need to be recycled, and it allows products to be used to their fullest extent. So that means that you don't have to buy new products as frequently. So how should we change the way we live and conduct business on this planet to ensure it's sustainable for future generations? Buy used products. That can mean clothes or, for example, a bicycle, I don't know. Look for products that use less packaging, especially plastic and paper. Buy reusable over disposable, and maintain and repair products if possible, like tires and other appliances, so that they won't have to be thrown out and replaced as frequently. And borrow, rent, or share items that are used infrequently. For example, party decorations, tools, furniture, or books. So let's say you really wanted to buy a book So it is better to instead borrow it from a library and then return it so that less trees are cut and less paper is used. So here are my resources, and thank you for listening.
And thank you for your presentation, Katre. And yes, good suggestions and recommendations at the end of your presentation. I will overthink some things that I've recently done.
Yeah, it definitely gives us a lot to think about every time everyone is making these suggestions. I think after this conference, everyone's going to have a lot to think about and implement in their daily lives. And actually, we talked a lot at this conference about what we can do as individuals. But on a broader scale, what do you think maybe, what can businesses or organizations do to be more sustainable?
I think it's important for them to create, like even for their workers, to create a better environment, to teach them about it and just let them know and explain it. Because, you know, if no one knows what they're doing, they don't really want to do it and make a better change. But if we explain why to do it, and if, you know, businesses educate on why they should do it, I think that is also very important in order for them to have good results.
Great, wonderful. Yes, thank you, thank you, Katra, for your time and your presentation. I think we are moving on to the last presentation today.
Oh yes, but not least.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. So Eva, now your presentation about some hydroponic system and oh, here you are. Very nice. You may start now.
Okay, can you see it?
Not yet. Now we can, yes.
Okay. So, hello everyone, I'm Yeva.
I am Mila.
And today we're going to be presenting about hydroponic systems. So, why we can just stick to agriculture? Our planet has its borders, and if we keep on using them that irresponsible, we might just run out of space one day. And we all know that we won't be living in Mars soon. So now, what it has to do with hydroponics? Agriculture is taking up to 38% of our land, and that is a pretty huge number. Not only we're using up space, but we are also taking away homes from a lot of wildlife species. But we can solve this problem with hydroponics. So now, what is hydroponics? That is a new way of growing plants and crops. Hydroponics is a way to skip the soil, stuff in a different material to support the roots of the plant and grow crops directly in nutrient-rich water. That way you don't need to water your plants and you can save up a ton of water. As well, now instead of using 5 hectares of land, you can just stack your plants on top of each other as you can see in this picture and save up a lot of space. Now in this diagram, we have shown you the total water usage of tomato production in year 2010. We have the Netherlands, United States, and China. The numbers are gallons per pound used for tomato production. And as you can see, the Netherlands use the least amount of water. So now we can talk more about them and why did they have the least produced.
As you saw in the previous slide, the Netherlands is very efficient in using water to grow tomatoes. Let's look at the case of the Netherlands because it is one of the most innovative countries in the agricultural sector. The groundwater was getting polluted due to the intensified horticulture in the region, and the groundwater levels were contaminated to unacceptable levels. Due to that, few decades ago, the greenhouses were obligated to remove their crop out of the soil. More than half the nation's land area is used for agricultural and horticulture. There are extraordinary greenhouse complexes, some of them covering 175 acres.
equipped with artificial interior light, with 80% with um, with 80% of cultivated land being under greenhouse gas, crops can grow around the clock and in every kind of weather in these climate control farms. Using the new technology and knowledge, the Netherlands has become world leader in agricultural uh, innovation and is the globe's number 2 exporter of food as measured by value. It is behind only the United States, which land is 270 times bigger. We have made a hydroponic system ourselves. We made it simple so everyone could make it as well. It's pretty easy to make. All you need is a box, air pump, pipe, and couple of pots. You can see how it looks like in these pictures.
So we have connected a pipe with an air pump. That way it makes its way to the box and the plants can have oxygen to themselves. The plants are supported by a foam block and a box. Under the box, we have made a hole so that the plant's roots can reach the water and feed themselves that way. At this moment, we are growing mint, and we are still in the growing process.
That was it, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mila and Eva. Very nice result. Hope to see it in more details at school. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks. It's great that you're experimenting yourself how to do it. And do you know what kind of minerals and things there are in the water so that the plants get all of the nutrition that they need to grow?
We are writing we're writing a job now on this project.
STEAM
Yes,
project.
STEAM project. And we actually have seen the things that come in these nutrients, but now at the moment I don't remember them all, but we have totally known them.
Great. And do you think we can grow all the food on the planet with hydroponics, or it's not possible? What do you think?
In my opinion, I think we can, probably.
Great. Well, we'll see, I guess, in the future what it holds and how we continue. But yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you so much for the presentation and your input to today's conference.
Well. So time to sum up. Thank you, everybody. Really great ideas, great presentations. Actually, me personally, I'm very happy to participate in this kind of event and to see how much our young students are well involved in these issues in ecology and so on. And we believe that you are our future. You will make some very important and great decisions, and we really can have a better place to live. And well, I would like to ask to invite somebody to provide us with a feedback of this conversation. Maybe any well questions, comments, or something, just to sum up.
Maybe I will tell some words about this day. For me, it's very clear that our planet is in good hands. At least 6 countries already have good people to promote our words. And of course, we've learned today new things, and me too. For example, what did Germany about those symbolistic things? Really, I didn't know that. And I guess Spain attention us about that really bad things about the waters. and species they can be protected more. And of course, we have to go to work and to say these words to our colleagues and our students, to their classmates. And of course, we should do actions more, because you know, when we say about the planet, we can see it just like a planet as a friend or as our family. So our students already understood that, it seems so. And I want to thank very much to Ernesta, because give this opportunity to show our thoughts and our work here. And of course, to the other teachers and to students, very, very big thank to them. Without them, because they are the future for us. For us, it's everything. So congratulations to everyone here. And of course, I would like to thank to Auguste. I think she already has a lot of things for the planet. Her work is great, and I never planted a tree. This spring, I would like to, and of course, I will put in some bottles some scents of greens in my apartment. I will say thank you very much for your ideas. So it was great. And of course, your good questions for our students. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me at this conference. It was really great to hear your ideas, and really, you guys are doing an excellent job, and definitely spread these ideas forward, you know, educate people around you, because a lot of people don't know this information, and now you do, and it's our an opportunity for all of us to share with more and improve our planet and this the world we live in. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Celine, you were raising a hand.
Exactly. Actually, I would like to have my words. First, of course, I would like to thank Ernesta to organize such an outstanding conference like this. And also Osti as an expert, you contributed a lot. Thank you very much for all the feedbacks and all the nice ideas, questions, and suggestions for the presentations. And also all the teachers from 2 different projects. I'm pleased to meet you all. And also, of course, big thanks goes to our students. I'm really pleased, and I appreciate it a lot. Their ideas, even some ideas that will be new projects in the future, I guess, and all the suggestions, feedbacks. I hope they can meet and share ideas face to face somehow in the future. So thank you very much for everything.
Yes, thank you, Celine. Well, actually, no need to thank me, because thank you, everybody, because, well, without our students, without all of us, we wouldn't have such a conference. So it's our input. And I would like to believe and hope that maybe this is not the last time, the first and the last. Maybe we will think of some other events or activities to join and do together, to have both and use and pleasure. So if nobody wants to add anything else, so maybe we could just come to the end of this day, which was really very interesting and nice. So anything else? No. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day, the rest of the day. And we are moving to some other activities of Ecological Week. So once again, thank you very much and hope to see you very soon.
So I would like to say to Mihai, my colleague, to stop the recorder, and then